Hi, I'm Cyrus Todiwala of Café Spice Namasté. I'm the chef owner and we are at my restaurant right now, and today I'm going to cook a very simple potato dish with a very special potato called the pink fir apple, which is in season right now and is flavored with cumin and sesame seeds. Okay, what we have here is pink fir apple potatoes. That's F-I-R fir, and they are in season now. What I have in this little dish here is asafoetida powder, and that's a resin that's used for flavoring food. I have here shredded curry leaves, and curry leaves are here just in case you want to see what they look like or how they come. They come in a bunch like that. So shredded curry leaves, and then I've got cumin seeds, simple, everybody has them in the house. Some onions. I've just split some green chilli, just slivered them down, taken the seeds off, a piece of ginger, tomatoes, and some fresh coriander. And what I have on this tray here is some sesame seeds. And for today's recipe, we are going to use locally sourced extra virgin rapeseed oil. Alright, so for today's cooking, let's discuss some of our equipment. Knife, of course. Very sharp knife is best. I also used a little paring knife for peeling my onions and other things, which I put away. The most important thing, of course, is to have a sharp knife, but don't keep them hanging around because it's dangerous. But besides that, I've just got a little wooden spatula there, a heat-proof rubber spatula. This is one piece of kit I cannot do without anymore. You can actually cook the whole dish with that because I just love using them. And a spoon for plating out. I've got a flat wok. I find this wok more convenient because it encompasses everything. Okay, so I've got my sesame seeds in a tray. I've set my oven to about 140, 150 degrees, 140 preferred, just to toast them through. We need them nicely toasted. I'm first going to start by cutting some onion. So I need to peel my onion and then I core out the middle. You hold your knife, little knife like that, you pierce it into the core and just turn the onion round and the core comes out like that. Okay, it's very important to get the core out because once you get the core out, the onion, the slices separate nicely. That's very, very important. So cut into half and then slice thinly and down. Sharper the knife, the less the threat of getting cut. I'm just going to shred some ginger now. So there's my ginger, all neatly ready. But now ready to cook now. So first a bit of oil. When the oil starts to smoke a little bit, in goes my cumin. And let the cumin toast a bit. As soon as it changes color, in goes the curry leaves. And with that my asafoetida. And as soon as that goes in, I cool the pan down quickly with some ginger. And then with the ginger, just the split green chilli. Yeah, so the ginger, cumin, chili, all ready now. The aromas are great, so in goes my onions. While the onions are sauteing, we start prepping our potatoes. Okay, you just cover the pan for a second. The onions get nice and soft. I'm going to cut my tomatoes and get them ready. For this recipe, we only need the flesh. We don't need the pulp. But that does not mean you throw the pulp out. Please don't discard it because it's very nutritious, very precious. So what we are doing now, while I dice this, just check my onions have to be nice and soft. So have a look here. They're nice and soft but not discolored. And once they are like that, I just put my potatoes inside. Give them a nice mix. So when you dice the tomatoes, that's all you want, tiny dices. They're coming along just nicely. Little pale color there. You want them toasted a bit more. So I get a nice color. should be ready in another 10 minutes. Hopefully. I'm now going to put some water. So I flatten the potatoes out in the pan. Take some water. If you put too much water, they'll become mushy. We don't want them mushy. We just want them cooked perfectly and dry. So I'm going to put just about enough water that it stays below the level of the potatoes. But if you cover it nicely, it should cook fast. So take some fresh coriander. And that is for finishing off my dish. So remember, when you chop coriander, you cannot chop it like parsley. It will bruise. It gets black. So you got to get it right the first time. So once you clean your coriander, hold the bunch as tightly as you can and chop as finely as you can. So let's have a look now. Just coming together. It's still a bit raw. You can see that from the potato itself. I'm going to cover the pan again. 2 minutes we should be ready. In the meantime, let's check the sesame seeds. Yeah, just nicely toasted. That's ready. So in go my tomatoes. So now we have everything in. The tomatoes have gone in last, so that's all. We don't need to cook much more. The only thing left is my fresh coriander, which I will use just for finishing off the dish. And it should be ready to go in about half a minute. So that's done. So at the very end, my coriander goes in. Switch off. A bit of salt. A sprig of coriander maybe on top. And that's now our finished dish. Very simple, very easy to cook, very nutritious, very tasty. So, as with everything, we need to try the food.
Wow, that is beautiful. The flavour's fantastic.
So the potato has its own flavour.
Cyrus, it's fantastic. This is locally sourced produce. It's nutritious. It tastes great, and it's all in season produce.
All in season, locally sourced, local oil we used. Potatoes are in season now, the pink for apple, and they'll be in season until end of April, May. So we have a month and a half, 2 months to still go for it.
Fantastic.
So Cyrus, it's great that this recipe has been developed for NHS Sustainability Day, and we're really excited that we're going to have it in all of our restaurants at our hospital, and encourage others to do the same.
I think it'll be fantastic, and I'm sure people will love it because I think it meets all taste barriers.
I agree, it's delicious.
Yeah, it goes across the board.
Fantastic. So Cyrus, what could we do locally to be more sustainable with respect to food?
Educate the kids about growing, about vegetables, about local, about touching. They will influence their parents. We can start educating the parents with good recipes, show them good ideas, so they feel more welcoming towards British produce and buying local and being local. We can go on a wider scale, educating people who go to work in offices, etc., that they must think more about sustainability, about British, that healthy food can be really good tasting too.
So finally, healthy food could be nutritious, locally procured and sustainable, that's correct?
Nutritious food can be sustainable, locally produced and healthy.